Everybody, good morning. Welcome back to Forever United TV. A day of reflection, a summer transfer window that has ended. Manchester United make their signings. We're going to discuss everything that has happened here on the morning show this morning here on FUTV. I want your live comments in. It's a situation now where it's Manchester United fans, Manchester United players, everybody at the football club. Breathe. Take a step back and have a look at what has happened over the last 3 months. Ruben Amorim turmoil at the start of the season, the players that we've brought in, who has hit, who has missed so far, and what are we looking forward to? How is Ruben Amorim going to handle this squad? How is he going to play it throughout the season? Manchester United have made a significant signing yesterday, I feel, in SENNE LAMMENS. We talked about it through transfer day. Everything around the transfer window, well, the window is open. It kind of goes one way conversation wise, but now it's done. Now we can look back and see what we've got, assess what's in place there, and now looking at it ahead, the football side of things. I think this is going to be the big question on most Man United fans' mouths going in after this international break. It's time to start talking football. It's time to start talking about results on the pitch and Ruben Amorim's future at this football club. The business is done. Forget about Ineos. We're set. We're in. It's now time to start winning games and getting up that table. We had an okay start. Moments of good football, encouragement, I think, in the first few games, in parts. Grimsby destroyed every single Manchester United fan's soul and really put the cat amongst the pigeons. But really, can we look at that and just say, is that not the biggest blessing in disguise now? Manchester United forced into going for a goalkeeper when they were convinced that they had the right goalkeeper and they acted on it. That's the big thing right now. And every single Manchester United fan now, I don't care if you're just getting over the transfer window, you're trying to settle into a new chilled out couple of weeks with no club football or any football news, you're not. Deep down, all you're thinking right now is Manchester Derby, Etihad, on that date, that Sunday afternoon, who's playing in goal? I know it. You're thinking it. I'm going to say it. I'm thinking about it already. I'm already planning ahead. I'm already thinking about the team. I'm thinking about the formation and who's going to play, who's going to be fit, how we attack Manchester City's weaknesses, which there is loads of. I'll get into the game later on when we get closer to it. But as a general right now, this now is the biggest moment in Ruben Amorim's career at Manchester United. SENNE LAMMENS has to start. I'm listening last night, and you all heard what I was saying when we had the Here We Go yesterday with SENNE LAMMENS. I was like, okay, a bit disappointed that we didn't get Emi Martinez. And I looked at it and I looked through everything last night. I didn't do an extra show last night because I wanted to read, I wanted to listen, I wanted to see what was going on and then come back in with a fresh mindset this morning and get your opinions on this as well. So pile in the chat, please, everybody. Get on with what you think as well and have your conversations there. I will talk to a few of you as well and bring up your comments on this. But now we can look at this and go, right, we've got what we've got, but the goalkeeping situation has to be talked about, and it has to be talked about in depth. I was listening to Kevin Hatchard, European football expert, last night, and what he said scared me. It really did. It said, in terms of Manchester United in Emi Martinez and SENNE LAMMENS and the decision that was made, Manchester United from yesterday's transfer window agreed personal terms with Emi Martinez off the basis of him taking over Jadon Sancho's wages. So basically, if Aston Villa agreed to a permanent move, a swap for Jadon Sancho, then Manchester United could bring in Emi Martinez. That's why the personal terms were agreed with Martinez. That's why Manchester United were ready to go with him. It was all off the back of if SENNE LAMMENS decided to go elsewhere, because there was other offers in from Villa, from Galatasaray. Everybody was coming in for SENNE LAMMENS, and Manchester United were his top choice. He was the one that made this happen. SENNE LAMMENS forced the move to Manchester United, and you have to credit that. You have to give credit to that. And again, Manchester United have signed another player this summer that has turned down bigger clubs in better competitions. Well, not bigger clubs, but clubs in a better position and better teams right now, more established teams that are going to be competing at the highest level this season. So we know every single player that we have brought in this summer, including Diego Leon, because Arsenal, we were going to get him and we got him ahead of them as well. All 5 Man United players could have gone to bigger and better competitions and different teams this summer. So well done, Man United, first of all. SENNE LAMMENS was the last one over the line. And this, for me, I think, has to be brought into the equation when looking at who starts and who plays for Manchester United. It has to be. SENNE LAMMENS has committed his future to Manchester United right now with a young goalkeeper coming through. Don't get me wrong, that SENNE LAMMENS, I feel, will already know the situation at Manchester United. His agent will be in his ear talking, are you ready to make this move? They have two senior goalkeepers, 27 and 29, full international goalkeepers there. You're not. That are already in line at Manchester United. That could cause a problem with SENNE LAMMENS. Are they going to get in his ear? Are they going to make things awkward? I don't mean deliberately, but is the situation going to make it harder for SENNE LAMMENS right now? What needs to happen here for me is straight into the team. Don't mess around. It's pointless putting in two goalkeepers, either of them two, just because they are used to the team and they're obviously understanding of the players around them. It does not matter. It does not matter because they will still lose the game for Manchester United. You get this new goalkeeper in and you make a statement. That has to be the case. I said then, I was listening to Kevin Hatchard last night, and this is what concerned me the most and why I'm worried a little bit. I'm not trying to make a negative out of this SENNE LAMMENS transfer, by the way. I like the goalkeeper. I'm not going to act like I know everything about him, but the reports and the highlights and the scouting that Manchester United have gone to and how in depth they've gone to on this goalkeeper, I like. And I'm backing every signing that comes into Manchester United at the moment because it's a well-organised and well-recruited signing. So I'm all for it. I'm good. We're settled. Martinez has gone. SENNE LAMMENS has been brought into Manchester United, and Kevin Hatchard was saying last night, Manchester United have done the right thing here in not going for Emi Martinez because they've now got SENNE LAMMENS in, who isn't expected to maybe start straight away. And I'm thinking, what? No, I'm sorry. You've just spent 18.2 million, which could have gone elsewhere in the summer in another area of the pitch that we really need in this first 11. There is no time or games to mess around and bed SENNE LAMMENS in. Ruben needs results now. We have got City, Chelsea, Brighton all coming up. If we lose all three of them games, you know whose head's going to be on the chopping block. I'm thinking of Ruben here and the pressure that's going to come down on him and Ineos for what's going on and why we bought that keeper and not that goalkeeper. Because if Emi Martinez comes into United this summer, he goes right into that first 11. And every single Man United fan is going to ask that question if SENNE LAMMENS doesn't start in that game against City. Talking about why. And that could have really ballsed up. You've seen enough of Bayindir and Andre Onana now. So this, I think, is the big thing here for Ruben Amorim now and how important it is. I'm not listening to anybody telling me that SENNE LAMMENS needs to be bedded in. There is no point. No point whatsoever. He's going to do better than Onana and Bayindir already. They've already cost us massively this season, both of them players, as well as what they did in the previous 2 seasons. So enough is enough. Let's just draw the line. Forget about this crap bedding in garbage. You've brought a player deliberately to come in as your number one. It's that simple, in my opinion. Kevin Hatchard going on there to saying they've got Onana, and it now doesn't look like Manchester United are desperately trying to move Onana on. They're adding value to Onana because they've not brought another number one in. Onana could still play and look valuable to them, maybe sell him on. Yeah, I get that, but that's not going to help Ruben's job because Onana will get him sacked. So too will Bayindir with what we've got. This defence is not comfortable enough with either one of them goalkeepers. We know this. SENNE LAMMENS, for me, is a player that we've just spent £18.2 million on. You may laugh at that compared to other transfers that have gone on this summer and say that's not massive amounts of money. But look, the way I look at it is Bayindir was in front of Onana going into this season. He's played all 3 of the Premier League games so far. LAMMENS is coming in to take Bayindir's spot. Onana is third choice goalkeeper behind Altay Bayindir. That's how I see the picture right now. I really hope that Ruben sticks to his guns with this. He sanctioned the deal. He said that he wanted this to happen. It was a goalkeeper that every one of Manchester United's hierarchy and recruitment team were all on board with. So let's get SENNE LAMMENS into this Manchester United side as soon as possible. I don't care if it's a baptism of fire. You've only got to go and then play the likes of Chelsea next. And then what if you go, oh yeah, you've got Brighton coming up as well. Fantastic teams. The Premier League is the Premier League. It doesn't matter who you are playing. You are going to come up against the best forwards in world football right now. So let's get him in as soon as we possibly can. I'm not for this, it's the derby and it might be too much for him too soon garbage that people are talking about. I'm not for that. When you look at the situation that went down with Emi Martinez, by the way, as you can see at the bottom of your screen there, Laurie Whitwell of The Athletic Whitwell of The Athletic was talking last night, talking about why Manchester United didn't get Emi Martinez. Villa were demanding a fee in excess of 30 million for Emi Martinez. So that deal didn't happen because Manchester United couldn't swap Jadon Sancho. Look, Manchester United were going for a number one goalkeeper. That's how I look at it, and I think that's what the state of play is here. And they were going to get Emi. If Sancho was going to do a swap, I don't believe the fact that Manchester United were in for SENNE LAMMENS. And please don't mix my words up on this here. I'm happy with SENNE LAMMENS. I really am. But I'm thinking about what Manchester United were doing here and how this went down and what's now been said. I feel is that Manchester United went for Emi Martinez and he was going to be the one. If they did the deal with Sancho, then Martinez would have been United's goalkeeper. I'm not having that LAMMENS was ahead of him. I think United would have done it because they know they had Radek Vitek coming through. I do. I believe that. But the deal didn't happen because United weren't willing to pay over 30 million for Emi Martinez and still have to pay for Jadon Sancho. I get that. It's a sensible football decision in the end. They are looking at the finances and they do have to make sure that they are within the boundaries of PSR. We probably was cutting it fine with what we'd already spent this summer. If the opportunity came around, the opportunity would have been taken by Manchester United on any player, like Romano said. But Romano also always said Sancho is separate to Emi Martinez. But the two of them did work together and link up the potential of something happening for Emi Martinez to Manchester United. If Sancho was happy to go to Aston Villa, then Emi Martinez would have been at Manchester United this summer. I am fully convinced that was the case. But it's done. It's over the line. Transfer window is shut. We've got what is reportedly one of the best young goalkeepers out there in Europe right now. And like Kevin Hatchard also said last night, he is and was on the list of several big football clubs. And everybody was watching SENNE LAMMENS. Manchester United, apparently, and I'll say apparently because, again, I'm not going to act like I know everything about this goalkeeper or what he is. I've watched some games. I've seen extended highlight reels of his mistakes and of his goals. A lot of people are looking at both right now. I think it's sensible in what we're doing and our approach to this. And now we're looking at this as fans. He needs our support. He needs Manchester United fans to get right behind him going forward, SENNE LAMMENS. And I think we will. He's a man that obviously has got his head screwed on. He didn't panic in this situation in the transfer window and looking at other offers. More money from Galatasaray, more lucrative deal there for him playing in the Champions League. Same again, Europa League with Aston Villa, a chance to replace Emi Martinez, a great goalkeeper as well. All of them offers that were on the table for SENNE LAMMENS were probably a little bit more lucrative. But again, it's another player that's bought into the Manchester United projects and what Manchester United could become. So when I say everything that I've said about Martinez being top choice for United, that's who I would have gone with as well. I took a step back last night and just looked at everything that was going on, everything that had happened. And actually, when you look at it, Manchester United are looking forward to the future. And they have bought a goalkeeper that's on board with that future as well. This isn't a willy-nilly type of signing. Just go and get what name is out there, who looks good and who some other clubs are actually looking at right now. This is a player that United have known for a very, very long time. And I think Manchester United ultimately have made a decision that they feel is still going to be a very good one. And look, the Martinez side of things, I still think was there with United and they would have taken him because they've got Vitek. Going to be interesting now how the dynamic between Vitek and LAMMENS comes through into next season. I know it's miles away and we don't need to worry about that right now. We're going to talk about Bayindir and Annan and where they go because there is news on them too as well coming up this morning. But United, I think, will feel comfortable with what they've done right now. And again, if you're looking at the profile of player that Ineos want to buy and this recruitment team want to bring into this football club, SENNE LAMMENS is another one with that, who matches that profile. I pray that the baby Courtois quotes and the next best goalkeeper coming out of Belgium, the new number one, I hope all of them are right and we have brought an absolute gem here. Have Manchester United found this goalkeeper and brought him in before he goes to another smaller club and turns out to be a world beater and then you have to pay a fortune for him? I pray that that is the case at Manchester United this time because this is all we wanted. If LAMMENS works out, we're done for the next 10 years at least with no more goalkeeper drama. please. I am praying and I am right behind this man right now. I hope he is the next best thing. I really do. Look, he looks like a quality goalkeeper. He really does. So let's just see how this goes down. But I'm fully behind it, and I do hope that the rest of the Manchester United fan base get behind SENNE LAMMENS. Look, what's done is done. Let's move on. Transfer window is closed. This is Ruben's time now. It's time to start judging. He's got players in every single position now. I think the only position that he's not managed to bring anybody in is midfield. So all over the park, we've got Ruben players now to fit his system. We've got wing-backs in, we've got defenders in, we've got forwards, we've got strikers, we've now got a goalkeeper. So, this is judgment time. Yeah, that's true as well. Just reading some comments now on this one. Also, I'm going to get into your comments as well and live chats right now. There's loads piling in here, so I'm going to jump into there. Manchester United have tried to sell Andre Onana this summer, so I think we do have to remember that as well. Right, a few super chats in first of all. Renewed memberships as well. First of all, MUFC 87. Overall, a decent window, onwards and upwards. Yeah, I'm not even going to talk about ratings of windows right now. There's no point. There's a lot of people out there that are pushing the negative on the transfer window. Everyone's welcome to their opinion. And look, you might be impressed, you might not be. Ultimately, the proof will be in the pudding. The eating will be the results and what happens in the Premier League this season. And that's where people are going to judge the window. Right now, I'm happy with what's happened, with where we're at. We've gone through a bit of a turmoil first month, and we've got players at the end of it. We're not as bad as some other teams. That's all I will say. We've improved on teams that were above us in the league table last season when we finished. I'll say that. I am convinced of that. So that's what I'll run with. But obviously, recruitment comes in the rewards within the season, and now the players perform. So we can't even judge this window properly yet. So let's get to January and see if we need to bring more players in and where we are in the league. And I think that will tell us how well this summer transfer window has gone. Robbie in the super chats again. Thank you, Robbie, mate. Give Lammens his debut at City. Drop the other two. 100% with that one. Robbie also says, how many times have unknowns turned out great? Well, there have been a few, and there have been some that don't make it. So I think I think you could safely say it's about a 50-50 split on that side of things as well, Robbie. But look, I still think that Manchester United know what they're doing regarding the recruitment side of things now. I'm confident behind what they've done. Last summer has proved that. We've got some great buys that have come through and have really impacted this team and our Stonewalls in our first 11 now. So again, I do believe that the signings that have been made under this new structure are properly recruited players, and I'm looking forward to seeing the new ones get into the nitty-gritty of this season as well. Martinez is 60% attitude, 40% keeping ability. Soz says Ant with a super chat. Neeks says, yes, Adam, hope you're good, bro. No better game for him than Manchester City. Let him see and feel how some of the best players strike the ball. He's going to get used to it. It doesn't matter what game he's in, the pressure's on at Manchester United. It's pointless picking and choosing games for this guy. Look, you brought him in for a reason. I'm with Neeks there. Get him in that side. Get him in there. Let him get used to this team. He'll do a lot more talking, and he'll find a lot more about this team and defence with some of the best forwards in the world. Like pick and choose. Like, you cannot throw him in to a City game thinking. So you can't not throw him into a City game thinking we need to ease him in. You've got Chelsea the week after, and then you've got Brighton coming up as well this month. So no, I'm sorry. He needs to play straight away. Bomb squad gone. New players in. The Red Devil is awakening. Watch out, Premier League. We're coming for you, says DOP3. I hope you're right, mate. I love them positive comments. You know I do. And I'm praying that it works out for you, buddy. Let's have it. Manny in with a super chat. Good morning, Manny. Or afternoon, evening, wherever you are. Lammens and VTech will be solid platform for when we're back in Europe. That's potentially a decade or more of quality. Yeah, VTech 21, Lammens 23. Manchester United, like I said, if Lammens works out, we're done. No more goalkeeper drama. Actually, now, it's been a while. It's been a while because even at the back end of David De Gea's tenure at Manchester United, we had the goalkeeper drama then. Should he stay? Should he go? Do we need to move on as a football club? And I think if and it's a big if again, I know, but if Lammens works, then we're there, aren't we? That's it. It's like, we're done. No more drama. It's done. We've got a strike force that can score goals and play football and handle the pressure of Man United already. We've now got a goalkeeper that can handle it. We've got a defence which is up there as well this season. I'm not going to mention the midfield though. Stu just renewed his membership. What a legend. SENNE, as in the goalkeeper, turned down Barca at 18 to fight for a number 1 spot. Attitude. Like, he's got his head screwed on, and he made sure that he got to Manchester United this summer. I love that. I absolutely love that. Onwards and upwards for SENNE LAMMENS. Any updates on Cunha and Mount injuries? I think we will get them throughout the day today and through this week, actually. Now the dust has settled with the transfer window. Obviously, the players will be at trading who are not on international duty. So, like we said, we'll have Cunha. The MRI scanner is there at Carrington now. So, all of the work on injuries and players that are on the treatment table will be done at Carrington in depth now because of the new facilities brought in. So, I'm expecting to find out in detail what Matheus Cunha's injury length is going to be. All of the journalists have been preoccupied with transfer stuff, so expect now normality to resume in terms of the reporting style and how they put the news across. So I expect a lot of updates on the Manchester United injury situation now today, tomorrow, heading into international break this weekend anyway. So Cunha, big one. He walked off and we've seen the video of Cunha walking away from Old Trafford. It didn't look like he was in too much discomfort. It wasn't on crutches, didn't see no heavy strapping. He was walking normally. So maybe it's not a big tear. Like, Bukayo Saka went off with a hamstring injury, Similoff, at weekend, and they're reporting approximately maybe 3 weeks-ish for Bukayo Saka, not that serious. So I'm thinking sort of in terms of grade, not that bad. And the fact that he's walking around on his own tells you that it isn't that bad. So, yeah, I don't think any operation will be needed or anything like that, so that will be good. Robbie again with another super chat says, too much negativity from some fans. Why? Well, we are up there in the top half of the table. It's time to get excited, Reds. I've rammed that down everybody's throat this weekend. I'm sorry if you've had to put up with what I've been saying regarding everything that's happened with the football side of things. Oh, excuse me. But we do have to just look at that table and laugh at Manchester City a little bit. But I'm one of them fans, me, that always worries about laughing too soon or bigging up United too soon before we play a certain game. So City are dangerous. City are very good. City are... God, see what happens when I start talking about them blue noses. My God, move on quick, Adam. I'm not going to mention City again. Forget it. Right, also, a good luck to certain players as well. Wanted to say this and bring this up. Obviously, last night, we had all of the news around the confirmations of outgoings and things like that. No time whatsoever for Garnacho's situation and what he said. I really don't care. If none of you have seen it, I think Garnacho... this is what Garnacho had to say anyway. Dear Manchester, after an unforgettable 5 years, this special chapter in my life now comes to a close. We have created moments that will stay with me forever, and I'm very grateful for this. To the coaches, staff and my teammates, thank you for believing in me. Every time I wore a badge, I gave everything I had. I leave proud of what we achieved together, excited for what's to come, wishing the club nothing but success for the future, while I look forward to giving my all in the next chapter of my career. Yep, well, I think the agent has written that out for him there and everything like that. That's all done and dusted. No problem. Thank you, Garner. Good luck in the future, mates. You're no longer a Man United player, so I don't really have to talk about it. A great one from yesterday was Patrick Dorgu. After leaving with not saying much, I still wish you good luck, my friend, but we are now enemies on the pitch. Does everyone love Patrick Dorgu? He is an absolute legend already, this guy. I think what he said even about Rasmus Højlund, he's a teammate of mine or something along them lines, but this is Manchester United and football happens. You have to get better or you will end up losing out somewhere along them lines. But go on, Patrick, lad. I love this guy. I actually love Dorgu's attitude. He is an absolute legend already. He's one of them cult hero type players, I think, Patrick Dorgu. I think he's going to be taken by the United fans eventually. I think with Dorgu, he's one of them raw players that just that will learn, I think, under Ruben Amorim. The discipline that Amorim has brought in and not playing him this weekend as well, and United getting that win, he'll be thinking, right, okay, what did Dalot do in that position at weekend that I can do? Well, you've seen exactly that. Dalot actually had an all right game against Burnley at weekend. Got that good assist as well when the pressure was on. It's them moments. If you haven't seen the video of the Burnley fans celebrating after they scored their first goal as well, and someone carried on filming it in the fans in the away section, still cheering and winding United fans up, and then a few seconds later United went down the other end and scored, and it's just one of them great football moments. But that is all coming back right now as well. That's what we've got to look forward to. But yes, Rasmus Højlund as well. Good luck to Rasmus Højlund at Napoli. Reunited with the likes of Scott McTominay over there in Napoli. I think he will do well. Hopefully he does do well. There is no way that Manchester United will have Rasmus Højlund coming back. The clause has been confirmed as well by The Athletic. Rasmus Højlund will be a Napoli player next season permanently, and United will receive an extra £38 million if Napoli qualify for the Champions League. I'm sorry. The champions of Italy, with 4 places to fight for in that Champions League for next season in Serie A, Napoli are going to make it. Unless Conte has one of his meltdowns. I'm sorry. You've got Kevin De Bruyne in there. You've got player of the season last season, Scott McTominay. Still can't believe I'm saying that. You got Rasmus. They have got an absolute quality side there. So very, very confident that Manchester United have seen the last of Rasmus Højlund. And I don't say that with any sort of pleasure. I wish the lad good luck. He wasn't the right player. It wasn't the right time. It was insanely poor recruitment from Manchester United. And we never should have bought him. Maybe now, 2 years on, we should be doing what Napoli was doing and buying him on loan with an obligation at this sort of price after he'd had 2 more years development in Italy. That's what Rasmus Højlund should have been doing, I think. And the fact that Napoli have put a £70 million buyout clause on to Rasmus Højlund's contract tells you what they feel. They were fully confident that they had bought an absolute quality player there. Not finished article by any stretch, but they know that he is going to be a star in Italy. So, again, Napoli are happy, and Manchester United are happy. The player, Rasmus looked a bit miserable, to be honest, coming off that play and going through the necessaries in and around Napoli yesterday. He didn't look like a happy chappy, did he, at all? But, look, I wish him well, more than I do Garnacho anyway, and we move on from that. Manny in the Super Chat says, am I the only one lunatic that thinks we will batter Manchester City? I'm not even thinking about it yet. I want to see who's fit and who's available, and then I'll start talking about Manchester City. That's the spirit, Dorgu. It's what we have been missing, says Andrew. 100% Andrew, buddy. He definitely does have that Manchester United mentality. And I think the mentality is what is going to carry this team forward this season now. And again, with the players that we have got and at our disposal, all of the headaches gone. I feel like Manchester United now are in a position with Ruben Amorim that he has got that mentality of player in his squad, and United can actually do something this season. I really do think that they can actually move forward now with this team. More comments to come. I'm going to have a big section right at the end of the show, so keep them flying in, everybody. Just want to make sure I didn't miss any super chats. There's loads flying in. By the way, everybody, thank you for all of the support throughout the transfer window. You guys were absolutely awesome. So supportive of the channel, giving us the opportunity to bring in Stream Builder Overlay like we did do on Transfer Day. That's going to be coming in more on FUTV now. The content is going to go up to another level, guys. Watch-alongs, after-match shows. We're going to have people coming on, guests as well. With all of this new software and branding and everything going forward, there's going to be a load more content, and we're going to be doing that on Football Talks as well, my other channel. If you haven't subscribed to that, link in the description for that also, everybody, and some of the mods will drop it in there for you. But yeah, moving forward with the news as well, what happens now with Bayndé and Andre Onana? Well, when we look at the goalkeeping situation, digging into what might happen, obviously I think it's the 11th and 12th of September this month, the Turkish and the Saudi Pro League transfer window closes, so there is still that opportunity to bring players in for them. And Andre Onana is still of interest to several football clubs. From what I have been told, it has been made very, very clear that Andre Onana needs to move if he wants to get game time. I actually feel like with AFCON coming up, United have played a card here. When you think about it, last AFCON, remember that debacle? Andre Onana dressed like the Matrix on that private jet. Erik ten Hag trying to rush him back to get back into the first team. And everyone's scratching their head going, why are we spending so much money on private jets to get Andre Onana back in goal for us after the performances he'd laid out that season already? Again, weird. But he didn't even play. Like, I know he's played in between and it's ready, but you've got AFCON, then you've got the World Cup. And don't forget, Andre Onana's place isn't safe in that Cameroon side. We've already seen him being dropped there as well for the international side. So, again, thinking ahead, AFCON, World Cup, it is a huge year for Andre Onana and all of the African nations. Double tournament year for them. And you've got to think, like, if I'm not playing, I ain't in any of this international setup. So, there was the link to the Saudi Pro League, and Neom, the latest team to get promoted from Saudi Pro League, Saudi Division 1 to the Saudi Pro League. They are still looking. Obviously, as well, Galatasaray are still on the hunt, even though they have brought the Trabzonspor goalkeeper in as well. Can't remember the kid's name. They are still apparently on the hunt for a goalkeeper also. We will see what happens. Musiala retiring at Galatasaray has obviously kicked up a stink over there. They're their number one goalkeeper for years and years and years. But I feel like Manchester United have done this deliberately in a way of knowing, like, they've made a decision. It's like that meeting that happened with Sir Jim Radcliffe again. It's like, right, we need to act. We need to go and get a goalkeeper. The Athletic were reporting it, and we covered it in the transfer window when we said that it's all changed. The reporters and the journalists have been shocked at how Manchester United have not been so one-dimensional or just like of that one vision of sticking to a plan. They are adaptable, and they've pivoted a few times throughout this window into after certain circumstances have come about. So again, United, I don't think are necessarily looking at this as thinking Onana comes back in. I think they're trying to push him out. I do believe it. From what I've been told and what's happening in this window, I think Onana is now looking for another football club. And this is why I'm saying it. And what Kevin Hatchard was saying regarding LAMMENS coming in, if Ruben Amorim puts Andre Onana back in this Manchester United side now, I think he loses the faith of nearly every single Manchester United fan. I don't think he gets any support for that decision at all, because he knows that it's going to go wrong with him. He knows his defence, and the confidence within his defence is shot when he's in goal. It is. We're all over the place. People were absolutely criticising the likes of Tyler Fredrickson in that game against Grimsby. He's just been thrown into an absolute melee with a bunch of first-team players that weren't up for it until the second half kicks in. But by then, he's been subbed off because the first-team players next to him and behind him were absolutely clueless and weren't up for that fight against Grimsby. One of the cup competitions Manchester United had a chance to win this season, and they blew it because they weren't up for it. Feel sorry for the likes of Fredrickson in terms of that game. Obviously, just thrown in there, and obviously had to deal with the crap of the rest of the first team, including Andre Onana. There's no point in bringing back in Andre Onana right now. Bayende, I'm happy with him being a number 2. I think it will be easier for Manchester United to actually move Bayende on. He has offers on the table. There are Turkish teams that have already made approaches for Altay Bayende, so there could be a real situation here where United make even more money and a goalkeeper is sold. Let's not forget, Manchester United still owe money on Andre Onana. I think that's finished at the end of this season. We don't owe anything on Altay Bayende. So again, Manchester United will look to probably move both Bayende and Andre Onana on. At least one of them will go within this season. Maybe even into January, a decision will be made on Andre Onana as well, or he'll make a decision. But do keep a close eye on the situation leading up to the end of the Saudi Pro League and the Turkish League transfer window ending. We've got another 10 days or so, just over a week left in that window. So let's keep an eye on that, and I will keep you updated if anything does happen and if any transfers actually do come through. But again, it's all going to come down to what Manchester United can put across, and that is with LAMMENS starting. You sort so many problems out with playing LAMMENS against Manchester City and making it clear to the other goalkeepers, he's in, he's number 1. You've got to go. And it's a fight between Bayindir and Onana, who wants to be number 2 at Manchester United or who wants to play first-team football. I'm guessing United are thinking, like I just said there, that Onana's got AFCON, he's got the World Cup, so too Bayindir, that they need to be playing football matches. And if LAMMENS comes in, then I think it just puts everything in place and they have to go. I'm hoping before we've even started or come back to football and play Manchester City that we are already letting Bayindir and Andre Onana know that this is the state of affairs and this is how it's going to go moving forward. So, yeah, on that one, again, United will look to make money because I do believe that there is more to come from Manchester United. In terms of the midfielder situation as well, we did say last night Manchester United did approach Atletico Madrid for Conor Gallagher, but we was rebuffed with the no, he's not available for loan, only 45 million. United will not spend any money before going for Carlos Baleba. Laurie Whitwell talking again yesterday, that's come out this morning. Amorim pushed for Baleba internally and Radcliffe wanted United to try for him, but the club could not in the end justify the price. At the start of talks conducted through intermediaries, United sensed Brighton might be open to a sale in the ballpark of João Pedro, who moved to Chelsea for a £60 million transfer. United agreed personal terms with Baleba, who was keen on the switch, having received positive messages from Andre Onana, Bryan Mbeumo, teammates at Cameroon, and Lenny Yoro, who played with him at Lille. So Laurie Whitwell saying there that Manchester United's figure was in and around the £60-70 million mark. Obviously, we all know that that's ridiculous, but the sense that they had of that obviously was put to bed straight away when they went and spoke face-to-face with Brighton. So whether they feel like they can raise enough money to go out and buy Carlos Baleba again next summer, we will see. But straight away, with £38 million coming in from Manchester United from Rasmus Højlund, that's going to be a big chunk of change there for Man United on him. With another 25 or 26 million for Marcus Rashford, I'm thinking they're going there. There's obviously more than enough money there. You're already over 70 million there for transfer fees brought in next summer. And it's over 60 million, next summer. So there's a big chunk of change straight away. You're going to be moving on the likes of Casemiro and Harry Maguire. I think United are saving every single penny for a midfielder that they're going to bring in. They're not going to get Carlos Baleba for that sort of price tag. Carlos Baleba at the moment is not playing well at Brighton. He's had a stinker of a start, but that's while the transfer window has been on. The hope is at Brighton, I think, that he comes better and they can get a good fee. One thing I will say is don't count out Carlos Baleba in January. Manchester United will not be afraid to go for a player in January. Carlos Baleba is not playing European football. Manchester United are not in European football. Of course, so there is no real difference there. If United have a good start to this season, first half of the season, I'm saying here right now, don't count out Manchester United going in and making an approach for Carlos Baleba this January. Okay, it's a far cry and it is a you could say wishful thinking, but I do believe that United have got enough money in amongst it. And if Carlos Baleba doesn't play well and is like that scenario where Jamie Carragher was saying as a player doesn't want to be there, they can say he wants to be professional, but he's been taken off in every single game so far this season. He's not looked great. He's not looked at it. If they have to go through a complete stinkfest of a few months here because Carlos Baleba's seen his ass and wants to move, then I think there might have been something said, or there might be an angle here for Manchester United to maybe go in January and try and get Carlos Baleba a bit cheaper. I'm not saying the player's deliberately playing bad, but he's definitely not on it. And if he isn't as good as he was last season, look, you've got to then make a decision, obviously, if United, is he that good? Is this just a blip? You're about to spend a lot of money. Brighton might be all too willing to sell Carlos Baleba, but then the decision has to be made. This guy's head's been turned, and if he's not playing that well, is he really worth it? I'm not saying he's not, but they're the situations and conversations that will then start to come up, I feel. So, again, there's a lot to be sorted out yet within this transfer window, but United not spending on a midfielder tells me that there is a plan ahead and there is more to come for Manchester United. Let's get into the comment section. Doggy reminds me of Evra attitude. What's that? Attitudinally, I don't know. Attitudinally, is that a word? I didn't even know that was a word. But yeah, I've always said that Everett actually, Patrick Dorgu is actually like Patrice Evra for me. A bit of a welcome to the shit show that is Manchester United. Welcome to the carnage of being a Manchester United player mid-season. All right, in some games, a bit off in others, a bit scattergun, then as a pre-season, comes back even stronger. And I think that's how we've seen Patrick Dorgu in the summer. So, yeah, I am really looking forward to seeing more of him this season. I will drive an Anna to Turkey in my van for free. That'd be an awkward conversation, Robbie, wouldn't it? Good on you, though, mate. I will fly to Manchester from Australia and drive an Anna to Turkey for free. And that from Manny. It's like Robbie and Manny are actually two Ubers that are fighting for the services of transporting Onana out of Manchester United right now. If Onana's a keeper, I'm bloody Jesus reborn. He's crap, says Ant. I think. Look, whoever you ask about Andre Onana, it's the same response with every single fan. It's just, I don't need to go into it. Cal says, I'd rather us 350 million solid central midfielders than one. Hope in a Brighton player personally. Well, it depends though. Are them 3 players any good? Like, you can buy multiple players, but again, I think it's a case of quality over quantity at the moment. And who is the right type of midfielder? Buying 3 £50 million players could be 3 Manuel Agates. If you have to spend a bit more to get the absolute best quality, I'd rather just go out and get the one better quality player. I'd rather go out and buy the Michael Carrick like United did in the day and just have that. That's what I would take anyway. Now, depth is depth, but I think you need to look at Manchester United right now and go, right, that's it. First 11, do they go in? No. Okay, we're not buying them. And that's what my stance has been. Cal doesn't think Net Label will come next summer. Leaf says, so Ruben Amorim isn't a drama queen with a miserable Premier League results. I remind you, 7 wins, 7 draws, and 15 losses, worse than Eric Ten Hag, who I couldn't stand. Although it's 8 now, isn't it? Because we beat Burnley. So yeah, it's 8 wins now. Come on, Leaf. Look, if he beats Man City, what's everyone thinking then? Look, if he beats Man City and Chelsea when we come from back from international break, there's no reason why we can't do. Look, we took points off both of them clubs last season, and I think we've got a stronger side now. So there's no reason why we can't beat City and we can't beat Chelsea. We should be beating every team. We're competitive and we can beat every single team in this league. So I do think that Manchester United should feel confident going into them games, especially Chelsea at Old Trafford. Like, we owe them a result at Old Trafford. We should have beat them there last season when we was on our arses. So yeah, I do believe that Manchester United will still be very competitive in them games, and I think we can win both of them games. And then everyone's looking at this season in a completely different way, because we get positive results when we come back. Say, for instance, Manchester United beat Man City. We're in the top 6 after 4 games, and that's the best start to a season we've had in about 5 years. So that there you can't really complain against, can you? Like, stats are stats, the table never lies. I know it's only 4 games in, but if we were in the bottom half of the table fighting relegation, everyone would be driving the narrative that Manchester United have got the wrong man in charge and we're crap again and we're in one of our horrible records again. All of a sudden, 4 games in and you've got 7 points and you're up there in the top 6 with the teams and the quality that are in this Premier League, you're looking at it and you're going, well done. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. I think every one of us would have taken that after 4 games, knowing who we've got to play. I mean, to be playing in the first 5 games, Manchester City, Chelsea and Arsenal, and we come through that. And I think even if we're in the top half of the table after them 5 games, I think a lot of Man United fans would be like, okay, I'm all right with that. That's an all right start for me. I could see the fixtures, how difficult they are. And if we do get through them games, these next 2, and we're still in the top 10, then I think that's job done for the start of the season. 5 games in, up there, not cut adrift too much. Then we got to really concentrate on what's actually important for Manchester United, and that's beating the run-of-the-mill teams, finishing off that Fulham game, beating the Brightons, Brentfords, Bournemouths, and them sorts of teams. That's what Manchester United need to be doing now. They need to be beating them and then going competing in the bigger games like we have done against Arsenal, and we will do against City and Chelsea. And then games can go either way. But if you're beating them other teams around them, then you've got a little bit of room to breathe. It's the fact that Man United were competing in them games and coming close, and then getting battered and losing to the crap teams because we weren't up for it. If we beat Fulham, if we beat the Brentfords, Wolves, Everton, Nottingham Forest, Brightons, Bournemouth, you beat them teams, then you've always got a chance to, or the manager's got a chance then to survive. And nobody expects Manchester United to roll over them bigger teams above them. But if they compete, they draw, they lose, they win, and it's a close game, you got a little bit more leeway. You have to beat the other teams in the league. You have to beat all the teams in the bottom half. And you have to beat the run-of-the-mill mid-table teams, the ones that are always there competing. That's what United have to be doing right now. They're the bigger games, I think, not the massive games. The massive games are always going to be massive on paper and in pressure and in the actual game itself. Like, it is one of them, isn't it? It's United against a big side, and it's always a Super Sunday game for United. So that's the one that everybody's going to be talking about. But all United fans know it's them Saturday games that we've just won. The Burnley one that nobody's even talking about right now because United won. Guaranteed they'd still be talking about it now if we'd have been beaten or drew that game. But obviously, United winning games, all of a sudden, nobody's talking about anything else. So, again, if you notice that no one's talking about Manchester City and where they are, if United were where City was and we'd had the start that City had this season, everyone would be piling on to Manchester United right now and Ruben Amorim. But no, it's Pep Guardiola and it's City. And of course, yeah, they probably will bounce back, but still, they're not talking about it. Why? Because they know they're probably going to beat the run-of-the-mill teams again. I know they got beat by Brighton. I'm not going to say one-off because Brighton have a good side, but you know City are going to come back. If you build that into this team, that you're and beat these teams midway through the season, not midway table-wise, then you're going to be given that same sort of leeway by the media, I think, and then the pressure comes off and then you can build on that. But at the same time then, you build that inner steeliness, I think, within the Manchester United team, and that's what Ruben needs to start getting on top of now. Yes, performances and the way we play is good, and in part we have seen that, but sometimes you have to have a plan B and get a result. And I don't think Ruben's had that. And I think that's what a lot of United fans will now start to look at and judge as well. Great conversations going on in the chat, by the way. I can see loads of people having loads of different debates. Not so much arguments, but opinions anyway. I'm honestly disappointed with the lack of midfield signing. We need to play Mazraoui as a CDM for this season. I don't think so. I don't think we will play him there either. I think he showed great, good sign. I mean, honestly, straight away, I'm bringing Mazraoui in for Luke Shaw, even though Luke Shaw had an all right game against Burnley. I just think Mazraoui's a better player. I do. I'd rather have him at the back. He's tenacious, he's aggressive. Taking nothing away from Luke Shaw so far in his first few games. Like, he's done well. He's done all right, and he's still fit. I'm still astounded that we've actually got Luke Shaw as an option at this stage of the season. Get this into your heads right now and let this sink in. Luke Shaw has had a full pre-season, and we're in September, and he's still fit. He's actually in contention to play for bleeding England. He's not in the England squad, but still, just saying that. Mason Mount, although he has just picked up an injury now, was available for 5 months. Hopefully that's not bad, by the way. I will feel like giving up if Mason Mount's injury is a bad one. I don't think it is, and the word is it's not as bad, but he was playing with something, so they're assessing it on that side of things. But still, I will be gutted. Cunha Matthews Cunha in the chat says the manager hasn't been backed. That's truth. They backed that truth. They are sacking now. They are sacking no way Man United even and get top 6 depends on Agate, Bruno Menu, Bruno Casemiro. They will be all overrun every week. Finish 15th with this. Confident then, mate. Yep. If LAMMENS won't play, then a better Heaton than Anana. He will make us lose. Why? Some weird typos or comments coming in there. Thanks for the big effort yesterday, Adam. You were in your element. Much love, everyone. Really looking forward to this season. Thank you for that, Greg. Cheers for that, buddy. Mr Dacia Sandero says 100% agree about Mazraoui. I think we should think about using him in CDM role if needed. I really don't. Don't be surprised if Amorim uses him there. Do we all remember when Ten Hag used him at 10? Yeah, we do, and that's why we don't put round pegs in square holes. I don't think Ruben's that type of manager to do that anyway. I really don't. But let's just see. Let's see what happens with it. And let's see how Ruben does set out his team. It's going to be a big one against Manchester City anyway. Ruben Amorim needs to start trusting Kone in midfield from the youth team. He's not ready yet, mate. That's the thing, Andrew. He's not, obviously, he didn't play in pre-season for a reason. He must see something because he has trained a lot with the first team. So let's just see how that one develops. That pretty much is your update on everything that's happened, everybody. Thank you so much. Mega start to the new season. We're calling it new season because the transfer window is shut. Actually, no, because we've got another super chat that's just come in from Mane. Thank you again, mate. Luke Shaw also looks lost 10 kilos. He has moved. He has moved from bus conductor to semi-pro footballer. That needs to be celebrated seriously. It's all about the off-season work. Yeah. And now it's about the mentality and putting it together on the pitch. That's it. Absolute legends, every single one of you. Thank you so much for your participation in this morning's show again. We will be back later on. I'll bring you any updates that come around. Make sure that you've hit that subscribe button if you are new to the channel. Therefore, all the updates and everything's going on. Obviously, the content is going to carry on. It's going to be a bit different now the window is shut, but we're bringing you all of the news in and around Manchester United. There's going to be a big emphasis on a lot of the academy as well going into the season. And, of course, we're going to be covering more of the action as well going through the season here on FUTV. So, hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit that like button as well. Let's get us over 600 live likes on this morning's show. Absolutely brilliant again, everyone. I will see you all later on. Have a great day. Well, it's back to school, isn't it, for a lot of people? Good luck on the roads, everybody. I'm guessing it's a bit of a nightmare out there again. But that's it for now here on Forever United TV. I'll catch you later.